you're going to spend the weekend with me. Hi everyone, I hope the first week of 2024 was smooth for you all. It more or less was for us. We do have a sick girl, unfortunately. Cece's not been feeling too well. She's had a fever and a headache for days. We're hoping that's going to go away again. First of all, I received a package and I wanted to open that with you. I got it from Everything Cross Stitch, which is where I buy my embroidery floss at the moment. Finally found a place that will ship, and yes, I do pay shipping, but it's not very much. They're really fast. Their turnaround has been just a couple of days, and so I'm pretty happy with it. Plus they always, or pretty much always, have all the colours I want, so that's great. I ordered colours for this new design, which is my kitty cat planter, and I'm really excited to be putting those kits together. And hopefully they'll be in my online shop in the next couple of weeks. So I've got 5 different colours on this one, I think. So there's like a kind of dusky beigey brown or a pinkish peachy brown, and then a sort of beigey peachy beige that is the same colour here, and the details in the cat. Then we've got these sort of succulents that are in a sort of turquoise colour or aqua. Then there's sort of grass green for the palms, and then a sort of darkish jade that is for these sort of, as you can see, there's sort of like tendrils. So I did something new, which is normally I will go in person to a craft place and look at the embroidery threads in person. I know they're not people, but I'm a person. So I look at them in reality and check that the colours are exactly what I want. And I didn't do that this time. I went ahead and used the chart. Now, a few weeks ago, you saw me open up that parcel, and I got a DMC chart, and it's basically a big old portfolio of all of the colours that they provide. And so I went through that. It's almost like one of those you know, those cards you get from paint companies, a bit like that. And I went through and picked the colours that I thought would be most accurate to the design. I took a bit of a chance with that because we all know that the photograph of a colour isn't always as accurate as we would expect it to be, depending on, you know, printing and the lighting when they took the pictures and so on. But I'm actually really happy with the results. So I got this one is for the tendrils, this one, and then I got this nice peachy one, and then I also got the green, and then surprise, surprise, these are all DMC, and then I got this one, which is not DMC, and we're going to come back to this in a minute. So DMC is the most prevalent, easy to find in my experience, brand of embroidery floss in the US. In Britain you can get Anchor as well, and I really like Anchor. I often find their colours a little bit brighter, but it's really hard to find here. DMC will cost about 60 cents up to maybe 70 cents depending. So when I was looking at Everything Cross Stitch, they had another brand which is called Sullivan's. So I'm going to try Sullivan's. The reason being, they all of their colours, when they listed them on the website, the codes for Sullivan's were there, but then you could also see the equivalent that they would be with DMC. So the idea is that if you wanted a particular colour that you've been using in DMC, but you wanted to try the Sullivan's brand, they had that there. So that was helpful. So I could go through and go, well, I'm looking for this colour, can I find it? And it was really easy to find. The other thing that's really great is they are a little bit cheaper than DMC. And so I'm hoping these might be a good alternative for me. I hope that they'll stock them well too, because DMC is a lot easier to find, as I said. Sullivan's I've never heard of before. So I also don't want to become dependent on them and then they suddenly disappear. So fingers crossed that's not going to happen. So yeah, Sullivan's is what I'm going to try. How do you know that a thread is good quality? Well, you can tell by touching it. DMC feels soft and smooth, and the sheen on it, it has a very nice kind of shine, right? Now, if you have a really poor quality, this is a generic brand that's quite commonly found, very cheap, not great quality. The sheen, you can see there's no sheen on that at all. So the difference is in the way that thread is mercurized. Mercurizing is a process of preparing threads so that they easily pass through your textile, your fabric, without snagging. Poor quality embroidery silks like this one are a nightmare. Years ago, when I first started teaching sewing or embroidery, I was really aware of the fact that some people might buy a bunch of materials and then decide it's not for them, and I felt responsible for that. Like, they might spend money and then not use what they've bought, and I didn't want people kind of spending money on things that they wouldn't use. And so I said originally to my students, if you're just starting out in embroidery, buy the cheapest thing. Then I completely changed my mind, because I started to use these in my own projects, because I had a bunch of them left over from other projects. Then I changed my mind, because I started to use some of these, and they are really hard to work with when they are poor quality. They snag, they break, they knot. They're horrible. They don't even look that great when you sew with them, because that sheen is missing. Cece was feeling better on Saturday, so we did the very sad task of taking the Christmas tree down. I am about to go into Radha Grocery. It's a Indian-based grocery store, and it's walkable distance from my house. It's so close. Ask me how often I come here. I almost never come here. Not because of any reason, I just never get round to it. Also because I don't love shopping that much, but I do love Indian food. So let's go and see if we can get some lovely treats. Okay. I'm particularly excited because they do fresh samosas, and I think they have them today, which is so exciting. I'm in a parking lot finishing my samosa because I'm about to go and do the weekly shop. That's the ASMR of opening a... Oh, and they smell so good. They are $1.50 and I bought 2 of them. It's so funny because when I pulled up in that video, I said, oh, I haven't been in here ages. And when the guy... I mean, I haven't been in there for about almost a year. And it's just one of those things that's never on my list of places to go, and I don't know why. I should be in there all the time, or maybe I shouldn't. I certainly shouldn't go in hungry, but the owner saw me and said, oh, it's been a long time, and I felt terrible. So now I'm going to have to go in every week and eat samosas. Oh, so good. Hi, I have great advice for you if you want to save money on your grocery bill. Go to a grocery store that requires quarters for you to get the shopping cart, and go in your brand new car that has none of the quarters that were in the old car that I used to keep for such eventualities, and then also just totally forget them anyway. That stops you buying too much because you can't carry it around the supermarket. So yeah, hot tip. I am taking my selfie stick out for a test run. I got this at Christmas. Working pretty well, I think. I'm also getting a little bit of cabin fever because I was at home a couple of days with Cece last week because she was sick. And she was very clingy because she wasn't well, which meant I couldn't really do anything. And so I am going to go out, walk around and show you my neighbourhood because I think I live in a pretty special place. We are about to enter sacred space, and I'm not saying that sarcastically or flippantly. I genuinely think this place is full of incredible sacredness. The Peace Gardens and Market here on Bryant Street was founded over 20 years ago. It is now spread over several sites. This is kind of the satellite site, and it's run by my very dear friends Safi and Dwayne, and we spend a lot of time here and have done over the years. It is extraordinarily special. Dwayne is a visual artist. Safi is too. She does paintings, and Dwayne does a lot of incredible sculptures using found objects. And so the garden is full of that stuff. When we were deciding to move here, or trying to kind of make the decision, we drove past this place and there were people working in the garden, and we had a chat with them and we realised we had to move here. This is one of the meeting spaces at the Peace Gardens. It's the main one. This is a stage, and so when they have events going on, they'll have a band up here, or DJs or whatever, artists. Yeah, everything here has been built either by volunteers or people who work here, and Safi and Dwayne have also built stuff, of course. This is a pizza oven. It's been, you can see it's mud and straw and stuff. I guess, would we call that cob in Britain? I'm not sure. Anyway, traditionally made, and it makes excellent pizzas. When we moved here, we were more than aware of the fact that we were being part of this increasing trend of gentrification. As a result, I think both Chad and I felt very much that we had to contribute to this community to sort of offset some of the damage that gentrification does. And so we, over the 12 years, have tried to be as active in the community as possible. That's been an important part of our living here and feeling like this is where we belong. As you all know, I'm a practicing witch, and I really do think that a lot of witchcraft is proactive and working with the energies and spirits of the place. But I think that having an active part in your community is essential. I think it's also one of the keys to happiness, actually. This is the farmers market. So when things are in season, so usually around about May, I would say May, June, we can walk here and pick up fresh vegetables that are from this garden or the other two sites. I think that's incredible. The other thing that they do is provide fresh vegetables for people in the area who can't afford to buy them, and for elders. Let's take care of each other. One of the other things that Dwayne has been involved in is he started this amazing business called Hood Huggers International, and they do tours of the neighbourhood and also Asheville, and to highlight the African American heritage that is often overlooked. So that's really great. Okay, so we're walking away from the Peace Garden Centre to one of the next sites, which is a second vegetable garden. This is Martha Jane's garden. You might be wondering why I'm showing you all this and what it has to do with Open Coven. Well, Open Coven I don't think would exist if I didn't live here. If I didn't live partly in Asheville, where there are so many people who are trying to do creative things and trying to start their own businesses that are unique and interesting. And I think that in itself was inspiring. I've had a lot of support from friends and people that I know here in Asheville who think what I'm doing is a good idea, and that's really helpful when you're not really sure. But also from living in this neighborhood and talking and developing relationships with people and talking to them about different things, about life, because that's what you do when you have really good friends. I don't know that I would have come to the conclusion I've come in terms of how to start Open Coven and how to move forward with it without all of those conversations. And so it's really important to me that I continue to pay homage to where I live.